Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of Original Box Set. I'm the Game Master, Max, and today I have a co-GM who is brand new at game mastering. I'm taking him under my wing and showing him some of the ropes. My son, Jacob. Say hello.
Hello.
He's
I am
working on
Lord
his.
Palpatine.
He's working on his voices. Do that voice, the one that's funny sounding.
Which one?
That one.
This one right now?
Yes, this one right now. Is that?
Hello.
That's actually his normal voice. All right, so hello, Radio and Death Striker. How you guys doing? Yes, today a thing is happening. So a couple of Fridays ago, we had a lot of missing players, and so I decided to try 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in a one-shot. We jumped in and said hi, we did some stuff, and we had 2 players, one of which is new. His name is Star. We were calling him Star-Lord that day, so you'll remember him. His name is also Evan. And we have Evan from the Magic Shop who's also joining us. So I would like to introduce everybody once again. We have Star-Lord.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
We have Evan.
Hello.
Also joining us for this one shot is Cassie.
Hi.
And Sarah.
Hello.
We'll do some character introductions here just shortly. I'm sorry to hear that you have a toothache, Death. Definitely. I hear that those are very painful. Get that thing taken care of. So we're going to start off with them quick with the background. We did a homebrew world, and you can see on your Twitch the map we drew. I'm going to zoom out a little bit on the map to be beneficial so you can see the whole map. There we go. And we drew this map, made some history, named a country, and we've got a story that's going along with it. There was a volcanic explosion.
And I have to say, I think the black area on the map with the circular shape is the volcano.
That is correct. That is the volcano that was drawn by me. And Evan drew these little hills down here. So there was a volcanic explosion, and the group is part of the Do you remember the word I told you? Theocrat. No. Okay. The country is a religious country. It's a theocracy, and the players are part of the organized military, and so they were sent along this roadway to make sure that everything.
Radio.
Yeah, we can get him closer.
I'm close now.
Good reading of the chat. And so we have here, they went up the roadway to clear and make sure the road's clear. They were responsible for the road between Blemfost and Arava. And they started doing work, but when they arrived in Arava, something interesting happened. Star and Evan's character encountered a beast that was attacking people. They devised this destruction pretty quickly. They did a good job, and they survived the encounter without any injuries themselves. And we're picking up from that story, and we're going to be adding some more people in. So let's start off with... You're seeing Friday's map. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. Thank you so much for reminding me about that. There we go. There's the actual map. You know, sometimes I forget the players see different things. Players don't really need to see what's going on.
That sounds like that would hurt Beth.
It's just I also logged in as you, so now I have to log out and then log back in under me.
Okay, not a problem. Let's start off with Star. Tell us about your character real quick.
All right. Well, my character's Clad the Unbreakable. He is a half-orc fighter, and he carries a large tower shield and plate mail. And he is a legionnaire of the army. And that's all I'll say for now.
Okay. Great. Evan, let's get a description of your character.
All right. Mala or Mala, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is a Tabaxi ranger. He grew up in the area and was alive during the war, but was quite a young child, so doesn't remember much about it at all. He grew up in and around the wilderness and was taught by his extended family and is a more or less a wizened, um, I suppose, wizened version of Aragon from Fellowship.
Cool.
You know, before he realized that he was the heir, or cared that he was the heir.
So we're gonna find out later that you're the heir of the old kingdom, EUL.
Of this tree. I am the
Sounds
heir
like
of this
secrets to me.
tree. Maybe.
Well, that's a good background. I like that.
Me too.
So
Oh,
now
I didn't know we would be sharing everything.
No, he's sharing everything. You don't have to share
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
You can be dark and mysterious. It's okay.
Oh, I just thought through dialogue.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's how you want to, that's part of the role playing. I know Sarah has brooded over this character for a week and she's got like a huge background. So maybe give us some cliff notes, Sarah, on your character.
Well, going on the dark and mysterious, we'll leave my whole backstory that I wrote, like history from whenever she was 5. Anyway, all you know about this mysterious figure is that her name is Raven, but you've heard her be called the Siren of Blackwater. And there's tell that she exploded a man's head with her voice. It's very exciting.
Scary.
Right?
Wow.
Good.
Very nice. Okay, great. Now, Cassie, if Sarah's done, we can go on to your backstory, a description of your character that you want the audience to have.
Okay. So, my character's name is Kadra the Undying. I am a member of a religious sect called the Faces of Ganesh. I am dressed as what is it we would interpret as a medicine crow by our historical standards. She's also called the Plague Bearer. And normally, she's only called in on situations where they expect a lot of death.
Really hopeful for this one, guys. Super hopeful.
Wow. Okay, that's some interesting backgrounds. I'm liking this. This is really good build. So let's go ahead and dive right into this game and see what happens. So we will start not from the point of view of we'll start from the point of view of our last 2 heroes in Arava. We're going to do some descriptions and then we're going to go from there. You guys had gone down the road after several days, and you got there, you cleared the road, and then while clearing the road, the ranger saw something big moving through the woods, and you chased after it to Arava. Getting there, the 2 of you found it. It was attacking people. You put the creature down, and now the day is coming to. You're telling people to shoo, get out of this area. This is not safe. Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah. We told them to head back to the larger city.
Blemfost. And just keep heading that way. This is not safe. And some people did. They headed out, but not everybody. There were people who stayed behind and were like, no, I was born here. I'm going to die here.
AKA Floridians during a hurricane.
Yes.
It's true.
And so that's where we left you guys. Did you and did you guys want to stay out in Arava, or did you want to go back to Blemfast, or did you want to set up a camp here? I forgot.
So at the end of the session, what had happened was a lot of people did leave to go to Blemfaust, but the contingent of men that was following us had caught up. We had set up a defensive perimeter, and I had ascertained the direction of the Black Boar. One
Yeah.
of the evil.
We were setting up to go, like we had all the reinforcements ready to go.
And we were about to embark in that direction, if I
Into the
remember
woods
correctly.
where it came from.
Yeah.
Right.
Out of suspicion of a necromancer, since the creature, the boar, was more undead in nature. So we fear that
Necromantic.
something
Yeah.
is happening.
Okay. And did you guys want to set out that exact same day and go do this, or did you want to wait a day? How did you want to approach this problem?
We didn't lose any hit points or spell slots, so
No.
I don't have spells. Oh, we did have a short rest as we gathered the troops into the city, but that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would probably want to head out, or we'll ask around to see how the reinforcements, if they want to just relax for a day since they've been on the road.
Yeah, they've been also breaking up burnt trees and clearing the roadway so that traffic can continue. So they're kind of tired, from just the last few days of Go. So, a little bit of respite they're fine with. While, at least one or two are like, nah, I'm strong and hardy, I'm good to go. And people are like, shut up, dude.
Oh, that's all right. We did. I think we did take a rest, and that's where we ended off.
Okay. So do you want to take a short rest and then, maybe I would say at the early part of the evening, head into the woods to find out where this creature came from? Wait till nightfall?
What do you think, Evan?
I think that night was either just about to fall or just finished.
No. You guys had got to Blemfast the previous day, got up the next morning, and started clearing the road. It was around 11-ish in the morning when you spotted the creature. And so by the time you got to town and rested, we're now at the point where it's like 1, maybe 2 o'clock. And so that's why I'm referring to like early evening. Go now in the early parts of the later part of the afternoon, early part of the evening, while the sun's still up. You have, about 4 hours to 5 hours worth of daylight guaranteed to go wandering around through these thick forests.
Mm.
Okay.
I don't think we should set out during the night.
Yeah. Probably not, especially for a necromancer. If we're going to be doing that, though, I will only take a short rest and I'll do a tiny bit of scouting in the area.
Okay.
Either by myself or whatever, just let everyone get a long rest.
Sure.
I'll help with the reinforcements of the city.
Okay. And by reinforcements, do you want to, dig some trenches, put up some barricades? What do you mean by reinforcements? Because right now, you have maybe a handful of people still in the area, and their homes are spread over a quarter mile to about a half-mile area in the Arava area.
Is there another temple?
Yes. Yes, there is another temple.
We should concentrate our forces around that, because the last one was targeted. So maybe set up some pikes around there, extra guarding, things like that, extra
You're
patrols.
a scouting team, so you guys probably don't have extra pikes. As far as it goes for military accoutrements that you probably carry with you, you probably have short bows, regular spears, shields, and these things are an extra as well as helmets. And you wouldn't carry extra suits of armor unless it was desperately needed. You, on the other hand, personally have different suits of armor, but I'm just talking about what your unit takes with you.
Yeah, I mean, cut down large trees and set up, sharpening them to a point.
Okay.
Like how you, reinforcements that way.
Oh, that's
So
fine.
if something came to run up, they would get spiked.
Barricades. All right. So, and you have skills in this. This is an engineering skill that a soldier would know. So, and the townspeople understand what you're wanting to do too. So you guys begin setting about chopping down some of the local trees that aren't badly or are well enough to be used, and begin making these barricades around the last temple. The last temple that is in this area is a stone temple like the one before, but it's round instead of square in shape. It has 2 towers to it, and also a root cellar, and then a regular basement, which the root cellar and the basement are not connected. This is one of the modified temples that were specifically for Grisio, and that have been modified to include the rest of the gods from Ganache, such as the Lady of the Sun, and I'm changing the god of beginning and end, which used to be Eo. Cool name. My wife, on the other hand, definitely likes the idea that Ganache was the name of the culture as well as their main deity. So we're changing his name from Eo to Ganache. So they
Sounds
basically named their country after their god, one of their gods.
Like you do.
So, and so this temple has been modified as well. From your first looks, this building purely was built for being a temple, and so the rocks that were used were lightweight, easy to move, and then they were layered up and they're flat. So there's no mortar, there's no real protection, and anything hits it hard enough, it's going to take a wall out. It'll keep the cold in and cold out and the heat in and stuff like that, but it's not really going to stop a large attack from like a battering ram. So you spend the afternoon going into the evening setting up these barricades, getting started, and getting as many people on this as possible while others prep food. The ranger, Mala, she rests a little bit longer than everyone else and then sets off into the wilderness. Mala, are you going to take your steed with you, or are you going to go on foot? How are you going to get about?
On foot. I'll try to be as sneaky as possible.
All right, go ahead and do a stealth roll. It is in a forest with lots of undergrowth, so I will give you advantage on this.
Well,
man.
shit.
Okay.
I got it.
What did you roll?
As you can
Rip.
see on the Roll20 program here, advantage means he gets to roll 2 d20s, and there are his 2 rolls. With his
Oh
modifier added.
no!
Only gets a 10.
He got a 10 and a 9. Now, for the majority of the game, some of the rolls can be hard, being like 20s and stuff like that, and some can be easy, around 10. This is his roll that is an opposed roll for later on, when something tries to perceive him. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll the d20 in the bull, and then we're going to add a perception modifier to it, and compare that to his best roll, and see if he gets spotted. Okay. We don't tell them, though. We just acknowledge our roll and decide and then describe it as we go. So, you head into the woods. It's pretty bare. You were hoping for underbrush to give you a lot to hide behind, but it looks like the fires burnt through these areas and cleared a lot of it out. And when you begin following the creature's trail, you're in the open. There is no hiding. You move from tree to tree, and that's the best you could possibly do as far as it goes for cover and being out of the way. Crouching as much as possible, using hills at the distance and whatnot. But it's kind of flattish, so it's not helping you out, and you realize this.
Every once in a while, there will be a little bit longer of a distance from a tree to another one.
Of course. So he's got to rush between the 2 trees. Good
while
deal.
Also crouching and
Yeah.
being as low as possible.
Exactly. All right. So by the time you've left the encampment, what's up? No. If you need to, you can write something down. There's cards right there. And here's a pencil if you want to send me a secret note.
Okay.
All right. The trail is easy to find. I'm not going to require a roll because it's just that easy to find. And by 4, maybe 5 o'clock, you come across the remains of a stone structure that has been knocked down. From a distance, you can see remnants that this looked like a small shrine. And you can see a bit of what may be a statue from this distance. A watering dish, a dish that water would be held into, and maybe it was for blessing, anointing, or some sort of ritual of some sorts. But yeah, the building, small, probably about 9 foot by 9 foot, has been knocked to the ground. Well, and you are not close to it. What would you like to do?
I want to take a look at from the distance to see if it's a recent development or if it's been knocked down for quite some time.
Okay, perception. You do not have advantage on this, unless you have something that gives you an advantage.
Was it made by a humanoid?
Yeah.
I mean, what else could have made it?
Yeah, it's definitely built by the people who live here.
Sorry, just converting over to revised ranger. I believe. So favored enemy is humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
I gain bonuses on survival when tracking them and knowledge about it or about them.
Okay.
Would that come into play at all?
No.
All right, so just standard perception.
Mm-hmm. You can't
Why
see
can't I do this in the magic?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, you can't really make things out from this distance. It just looks like a pile of rubble. You don't know how long it's been knocked down or any other details because you're trying to stay safe and away from it.
Maybe going near it would be a better choice, in my opinion.
Well, one of the things about being a game master is not giving opinions at all. I mean, it's a sensible thing as you as an individual. You'd want to be like, hey, maybe getting closer would be a good idea and sneaking up to it. Cool. But you have to let them make that choice. You can't seed those ideas in them because that might make them feel like there might be a trap there or monster waiting to ambush them. Which there's not.
Insightful.
Unless it's an
Exactly.
incredibly stupid idea. It's like, I want to jump into the volcano. It's like, DM's like, I advise against that.
You have appeased the gods. Go on.
So this stone structure that's being knocked down is directly in the path of the Black Boar.
Yes.
All right. I will get close enough to see if there's any survivors. At this point in time, Mala thinks that it knocked, or the Black Boar knocked it over in its charge. So yeah, he'll see if there's any survivors, and if not, he'll skirt the area and continue.
All right. No, there is no survivors. You do see that there was a victim, and the victim's body is still here amongst the rubble as you've gotten closer now. It definitely has signs of markings of Grecio, as you can see a broken statue. It's not the statue's broken. I should say the statue's fallen into its component pieces. It's one of those statues that are built in like 4 pieces and then piled up. So it's like fallen over. It could be stood back up if you wanted to. But the rest of the building is crashed, and you can see what looks to be a pair of old brown human legs sticking out of the rubble.
Went well for him.
Well, nothing I can really do at this point. So yeah, no, I'll continue.
Okay. Walking around the building, you can see that the tracks look like this creature was at already a gated speed when it hit the building. And of course, there is a spray of rubble on the other side. So it's as if it had a distance to go and it just charged, hit one building, and just kept on going toward Arava. You follow the ashy trail away from the building, and you find that it begins looping. Are you following in a line, or do you want to follow the trail?
How far into the long rest is the rest of my party?
I apologize. You can't whisper. You have to write it down, man. Just say it in my ear real quick.
Because basically I just want to follow its trail
Okay.
for about halfway into the rest, and then I'll hightail it back to get there for
At
when
this
we...
point in time, you've already hit the halfway marker.
All right. So I'll start heading back.
So the trail, as you've decided to turn back, you can see that the trail is now curving. So you went past the church, you can see the trail's curving. You look at the time, you're like, I don't have time to finish this. I have to come back later or something. And then you head back to Arava. Or do you want to push on into the rest of the evening and hopefully make it back in time?
The group is in Arava right now, or
Yes.
in Belfast?
In Arava.
No, I'll go back. I'll go back to Arava.
Okay. By the time night has fallen and dinner has been eaten, Star, the ranger is returning. So you're standing outside, maybe having a smoke and a drink with a couple of the locals. You guys have made 2 barricades at the front of the church. The back of the church is a steep hill, and so you guys piled some more rocks up there, loose rocks. So if something came up the steep hill from the backside, it would have to it would be running up loose rocks and could fall down easily. So right now you feel... Wait for me to finish. Right now you feel the church is rather protected with the barricade in the front, the loose rocks in the back. There are windows on all sides, so you can see almost every direction. And as you guys are doing your after-dinner event of smoking and drinking, you see the ranger coming out of the darkness.
Mara, what did you see?
Not much. Just a building that fell over, but it looked like it was knocked over by the boar. But there was a Grizio citizen underneath it. Dead, of course, but from Grizio.
Well, we'll head out more in the morning. Get yourself something to eat.
All right. I think I saw a fisherman's hut around here. So.
Okay. So you get a late meal and find a place to rest for the night. All you are prepared for doing watches. We're going to swoop back to the city of Agri, and we're going to be paying attention to a longboat that's coming up the river. 3 days ago, at a temple down in Blackwater, a priest awoken from a vision as she was meditating. Rushing from her placement, she sought counsel from the eldest and began telling her the plight of a terrible dream she began to have. After speaking of what she had seen, the priest sought out and sent messenger for aid. He summoned some of the local militia who are specially skilled at travel, at combat, and especially at handling difficult situations. Cassie, I did not get a character's name.
It's Kadra, the Undying.
My character's name is Kadra, the Undying.
Okay.
All one word squished together.
Well, it's a title as well, because every like this is the Undying, so it's a title. Because I'm awesome. The whole thing is a title actually, but you guys don't know that.
Okay. I guess you would be a good. Maybe I think a K.
Yeah, K. I'll spell it. If that's what you were asking, then you probably should have said that instead.
Oh, I was reading the. Yeah.
There we go.
Kadra.
No, it's Kadra. You don't pronounce the H as much.
Kadra.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Kadra. I like.
Kadra.
Yes.
Because you're a plague doctor.
Yes. Kadra. I enjoy long walks through graveyards at night.
My kind of lady.
You only have to talk with your hand over your mouth because of the mask.
Yeah, exactly.
My
Yeah.
name is Kadra the Adorer. Nice to meet you.
My name is Kadra. Blah.
Perfect.
All right.
It's just Bane as a D&D character.
You merely adopted the plague.
I was bored.
You really adopted
Move
the
the
plague.
Oh my gosh.
What's that?
Move over to the stream chat a little bit.
Oh, like this? Oh, we can do that. The Pontifact called you to the church, Kadra, and explained to you that Eliavet, one of the prophetesses, has had a vision of a necromantic army building to the north. She says soon an ancient monster of the mountains will erupt and send hot ash down onto the people, and from the ash itself it will resurrect the dead in malformed shapes, and these undead creatures will seek out the living and try to kill them and destroy them. And she will discern more in time, but you are one of the Undying that stand here before me, and as Pontifact, I want you to go there and begin investigating to determine what's going on. Is the prophetess right? Have we awoken? Has some necromancer or powerful ancient being awoken? Find out what it is, what's going to happen, what's going on. Report to us, and if you find a way in which to stop it, do so. Go with the blessing of the church. With you, we will send individuals who are capable of being by your side, who are famed or infamous enough to be able to carry the weight of this most precarious moment for the church.
Of course. Oh, hold on. Of course. I will be happy to. There's an echo because both of our mics are on right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I could turn one off, but it's maybe
No, don't do that. You'll just mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that you were done, and that's why I had unmuted my mic, and then you started talking. I hate push to talk.
I, on the other hand,
Yeah,
don't hate
yeah.
push to talk.
Oh, that's better. I hear.
Give me 1 second and I could do that. I didn't even think about that.
It actually fixed itself.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I hear you fine.
probably because I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
give me a second to turn on my push to talk.
Okay.
Voice and video, push to talk. All right, now what do I push to talk?
Your headphones are so warm. I hate them.
I'm sorry. What is the push to talk button? Milliseconds. You can add multiple. Let's check out the key bindings. Active overlay chat.
Also, seems like my my camera for my laptop doesn't seem to like Discord. So
Snot rockets. Can people hear me? I guess not. All right, let's do this, and I'm gonna give you the ones. Is the ones I'm wearing the ones you want?
Sure. It doesn't matter.
Okay. 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 That's all I wanted. Chicken. Nope, that wasn't it. What's the normal push to talk button?
M.
Like shift or control or
mine was T.
also that.
Chicken. Chicken.
No.
Chicken.
No.
Chicken.
No.
Mother humper.
This is why I don't do push to
Chicken.
Wait, I want to try that.
Keep no, don't help for this. Key bindings are disabled while this panel is visible. Attic. Unassigned. Push to talk normal. T. Hold temporarily. T. Stop. What? Stop recording. Talk. Chicken.
yes.
Can hear
Yep.
you.
We hear you.
Great. All right, can you hear me while I'm not pushing things? Great. Awesome. So we're going to do push to talk, and that should help reduce on the echo.
Sweet.
Yeah, what was I saying?
You finished talking.
Ah, yes. So, and he said he's going to give you some assistance. And so that was roughly 3 days ago. You have met up with another small contingency of individuals. You are in charge of this mission. Your mission is to find out if the prophetess that had this dream or whatever, this prophet, is correct, that the volcano is going to explode and then suddenly there's going to be an undead army all over the place. So you are in charge of figuring this out, and they're going to give you people. So they're going to give you a total of about, we'll say, 10 people that answer to you, and they will provide you with materials and services. But of those people, only 5 of them are trained as soldiers, and 3 of them are trained as servants who run errands, can write letters and stuff like that. 2 of them are specialists. One of them is specialized in the arts of hand-to-hand combat, and the other one is infamous. And her purpose here is just because of her professional skills and the things she's done in the past. It's just like, look, we're just going to throw in this wild card because things happen around her, and gosh, let's hope this works out. Maybe she can help figure out an undead thing.
Really, it's more because it's her penance, and I don't think that she was supposed to kill that man. Just deafen him.
Whoops. You get everything together. It doesn't take a day because they have dozens of people working quickly to get you out of the way. The church is keeping this as hush-hush as possible. They've said, don't really talk about this. Just go wander around, do your job, look for disease, look for undead, stuff like that. You know what you're doing. And if you're on your way up there, something, just be looking for like an eruption of the volcano or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Day
lots of
two.
evidence.
Day 2 of your movement in that direction, the volcano up the river explodes. Massive clouds, spewing fire, darkened the sky, miles in radius. Whoops, looks like she might have been right. When you,
I can practically smell the undead.
oh boy,
Mm.
I wonder what they smell like. I imagine rotting flesh.
It smells rotting flesh.
It's not rotting flesh. It's decay and dust.
Decay and sulfur, my favorite candle brand.
So you three on your longboat, which is being pushed upriver by these 10 trained people the last 2 days of just let's go, as it's the volcano erupted a set day, like let's see, it's been volcano erupted in the evening, and then you guys had a whole day. How many days did it take you to get up the road?
3, I think.
3 days. And so it was the day after the volcano's eruption you guys head out. So she's on the waterway. She gets up to the city. The volcano has so you guys are literally you guys will be a day behind the first group moving up the road. No, 2 days behind them. So you guys have moved up the road. The first group moved up the road, got to Arava, and they've now just spent their last day of moving up to Arava. You guys have arrived when you guys arrived in Agree. This is the day after the volcano has exploded. Ashes on the water. People are fleeing the city either by boat or by land, foot, cart, whatever can get them away. They're fleeing. When you get there, the Pontifact David is in charge of the local temple. And he would be your first point of contact. You have a piece of paper that says, I have a mission and I'm in charge. You also have you have a signet ring that says, I'm in charge.
Excellent. I disembarked from the ship. So I never take off my mask. Ever. There's rumors that it's actually not a mask. Or that it's been fused to my face in some not unholy, some holy ritual.
Right.
Because it's all ordained by the church, obviously. But so I like making an entrance. And so the day we arrive at our destination, I will be using thaumaturgy to produce the illusion of mist surrounding our boats as we draw near.
Would you like me to play you in?
Of course, I love a good, I love a good verse. The skies seem to darken even further as thunder in the distance rumbles.
I tell everyone to grab their spears because something's happening.
I will be on the. We're in a boat.
We are on a boat. We are about to dock.
Fantastic.
Fire the catapults. No.
I am. I'm standing at the front of the very boat, like with my one leg up on the side, and I'm playing my viola and singing this just the spookiest song I can, just like that. But yeah, it just sounds like ghost, not wailing, just a sweet spooky song with the viola playing in the background.
So as we dock, definitely. It's like as we dock, I step off the boat.
Let them do it.
The fog seems to dissipate and follow just ever so slightly along with me as I head towards the it's just a church or a cathedral, or I don't know how big the city is. So
The city of Agra has a. The city of. Oh my God. Push to talk is painful.
Yeah, it's not fun. That's why I don't use it.
The city of Agra is a large city. Man, can people hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now. You cut out a few times there.
Yeah, because I was clicking on my desktop, holding the T button. My desktop's going T, T, T. Yeah. I got that file right over here. You want it? No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I figured out something, so we're good. The city of Agra is a sizable city, a population about a little bit more than 2,000 to 2,500 people, and that's spread out in the city, and then the surrounding area is probably about 400 something people. So this is populous. So it's a cathedral, and also in the city there are 4 other smaller chapels. But the cathedral here is grandioso and houses 15 members of the upper echelon of the church, from a bishop down to several fathers, and of course some of the royal mages. The magocracy, those holy magic users.
excellent. So I will head with my. I guess does everyone join me, or am I going up there?
You're in
by
charge.
myself? Excellent. I will let the minions deal with the dock, and I will take my bard because I enjoy her playing, and I will take some the ones who seem like they can who didn't quiver in their boots at the sight of me, and we will make our way up to the church and discover more about what's been happening and how many undead they've found so far.
Be careful with it. Okay. Making your way to the church, the streets, a lot of ashes being cleared up. People seem to be doing okay. There's a number of buildings that have been damaged. You come across a group of people standing around a large chunk of blackened rock, and it's in a cart, and they seem to be having a discussion over it. This piece of black rock seems very entertaining to them. Moving past them, you cannot hear anyone speaking of undead, though. But you do hear people speaking of the ash, the rocks, the damage to the houses and stuff. You come around the corner to where the cathedral is, and it's a beautiful cathedral, white and gray stone, and some of the stone is a rosy pink color, but parts of the wall have been damaged. So if you guys can imagine a cathedral, cross it with a castle, and put a wall around it, that's what these places look like. Parts of the wall have been damaged, and one of the tall spire-like towers have been taken out. Damaged, rubble, oh, the atrocity.
Bum, bum, bum.
I will make my way around the rubble, inspecting the damage as we go. Disappointed that there is nothing that seems to be to my that utilizes my special set of skills. Perhaps there'll be some other information once I reach the church itself. I will confidently step into the church and find would it be the head priest that I would be looking for?
Either the bishop or the pontifact.
Ah, yes. I would like to speak to the pontifact.
Okay, just to clarify, the bishop is in charge of the...
Oh, okay.
Hang on. The bishop is in charge of the local religious aspects and the church and stuff. The pontifact is in charge of the land, but he's still a religious figure. So I'm assuming that you would be reaching out to both of them. But the pontifact first. So
yeah, the land is because the people seem to be alive and doing well considering the circumstances.
Oh darn.
Oh darn, indeed.
It takes a little while before Pontifact David is able to get back to you. First, he has to be found, and he is amongst the people at this point in time. So you wait in the cathedral for his return back. When, upon being told that an Undying is waiting for him, it is sent to you that he needs to return, and he does return post haste as a rushed carriage carries him back to the cathedral through the front doors and immediately comes to a halt, and he gets out, he walks into the waiting garden where you're at, and he approaches you and gives a slight nod to acknowledge your existence. Is your character male or female?
Plague doctor.
My character is a plague bear.
I identify as a plague doctor. Thank you.
I suppose I am female.
Okay.
However, with my garb is not any sort of form fitting. It's essentially it's studded leather armor. However, what I envision is that it's leather trousers. Instead of like the black robe, it's like a full studded leather kind of robe all the way down to the boot level, maybe about like 2 inches off the ground so it's not brushing up against the filth. It sits very, it's long and sits very heavy. You've got the plague bearer, like, well, it's the medicine crow. I call it it's got the plague bearer, full helmet, hat, mask.
Yeah. Hat, mask, very large collar, droopy down. Yeah.
Little incense thing that they dangle around.
Except my incense is actually my holy symbol. What was that thing?
The prayer wheel.
Yeah, the prayer wheel. It's also my sconce, I suppose, is the best way to put it. So yes, for sure.
That would work.
You can fill the streets with thaumaturgy smoke. Just
Yep.
There you go.
Exactly. So it's
everybody else.
But yeah, Kadra is the Undying. It would be, I guess, a more female in voice, very soft and confident.
The reason I ask is because the bishop is going to refer to you as brother or sister, while the pontifact is going to refer to you as doctor. So
they would actually be referring to me as my title.
Undying.
Yes, the Undying. That is actually my title.
Okay. So he walks in and says, "The Undying," and gives a nod to kind of acknowledge that you're here.
Pontifact.
What sends you this way?
Quick question: which city did we come from? Was it Blimfaust?
Blackwater.
Blackwater. Okay, thank you. And where have we arrived? Callanport, Blimfaust, Arriva?
Agri.
Is that even on the map?
Yeah, it's the one that's.
Oh, it's the furthest one. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see it now. I apologize. I didn't have it all the way zoomed out.
Okay, so this is like before the we got
doing some quick role play to get them caught up.
Okay, cool.
The prophetess of Blackwater received a vision 3 days ago. A vision that will hopefully be aided by my presence here.
Your presence bids that there's terrible magical powers at work. I do not welcome your profession here. I see it more as a bane on my community. Tell me that this prophetess's dream.
A dream of volcanic eruptions, and as I look around, the ash and the breaking, the broken city, a dream of death, a dream of undeath, monstrous forms erupting from the ashes of the volcano. Monstrous forms, undead hordes attacking the living.
He makes a gesture to for the people who are following behind him to step farther away, like, get the fuck back. And he steps forward, and within hushed tones, he says, "The Undying. We have not had anything like that anywhere near Agri. The area of the explosion, the mountain's anger was large. No one has said nothing, no one has said anything of any danger such as this. To the north here, there are 3 more cities, and our people have been set out to scour, clean the roads, and assist as much as they possibly can."
I have brought you this information. From the prophetess herself, do you deny the prophetess's connection with Ganesh?
Of course not. But nothing has been seen. Maybe it's not here yet, which would be good.
Then perhaps there is still time.
How do you travel?
We arrived by boat.
The river will be filled with log jams. You can make way that if you can, but the river will be filled with log jams this time of year. The road might be more affordable. We have horses. We can assist with making sure you get up there. But we have no troops to spare for very little. Most of them are at civil works, commanded by me.
I will not detain your retinue. I have brought my own. Thank you.
Of course. I mean no disregard or disrespect, but we have horses that are at just a moment away, a snap of a finger, and they would be here to provide you assistance getting up the roadway to check out for whatever the prophetess has predicted. If she predicted a volcano, she was right.
If
We will accept your generous offer of horses, but I will not be taking any of your men.
Greatly appreciated.
So, with that arranged, if there's any need to discuss with the high priest, it can. But I believe that the bishop, sorry. But I think that the Pontifex can handle the communicating with the bishop, unless you think that I need to.
Oh, no. They're supposed to be 2 heads of one state, so they communicate. One's dealing with the land, the other one's dealing with the religious impacts. So, like, if you did find undead running around, you'd be somebody you'd tell and be like, "I need some priests that have some turn in power. I need the smites," and then he would know people.
Okay, excellent. Then yes, we will. I will send one of the other warriors to collect the rest of my I don't know what do we call them?
battalion?
Battalion?
You can call them your assistants. Do you want a military term?
Entourage?
Yeah, I didn't know if the I know, right? Entourage. No, I will send one of the
I was
warriors.
muted, but I said entourage too.
Nice. I will send one of the warriors to collect our minions so that we can progress forward. That's the only thing that I was just like. But I think I think entourage would probably be that's probably like a fancy word, but we could use that.
Kind of seems like what you would say as a character.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's like so. I send one of the retinue. I think maybe that's the word that I think would they?
No, just do a
No.
entourage.
Yeah, we'll do entourage.
Yeah, entourage is a group of people attending or surrounding an important person.
Yeah, there we go.
That's how you feel about it. You're
Yeah.
like, my entourage.
Exactly. Thank you. I love it.
And I believe a retinue is a group of people waiting on the sideline to do the bidding of someone else, like a militia or an army.
Okay, so
So both work. Both work.
yes, I will say entourage though, because I don't believe that those that the majority of the people who have joined us are capable of surviving what's ahead.
Most of the people are first level or 0th level in consideration, i.e., they have 1 to 2 hit points and their stats to lean back on, and maybe a skill.
By Death Strike.
Yeah.
So definitely entourage.
It takes no time for the warrior to gather the rest of them, and it takes no time for the Pontifex skilled men to gather a horse for everyone. And he even makes sure to add to your horse's collection enough horses to be able to swap out. Now, the amount of materials you brought with, such as tents, wood, and a variety of other necessary things, including packs and equipment, they're going to be saddled up to like one of your retainers and 2 of your soldiers, or 1 of your soldiers, and they'll be given a cart to follow along behind, but they're not going to be able to go at the pace of which a horse will. So, of the 10 people you've got, 2 of them will be minding a horse and cart with an extra horse and all your materials. Materials including resupply of arrows, food, rations, and so on and so forth. And then on top of that, he's going to make sure you guys have a total of 16 other horses, so that each of you will have a spare horse. If the first horse gets tired, you ditch that one and go to another one. All the horses have saddles on them, bits, bridles, and the saddles have markings of the church. So there's a great possibility that if you decide to leave it on the wayside of the road, nobody is going to touch it for fear of going to hell.
They could just be trained to like go back to the a city.
They could be. Or they could be asshole horses like the one I rode that'd just be like, fuck you, I'm going to wander off to the Circle K.
But I like hell. It's
All
warm
right.
down there.
Depending on how far you go.
I rode a horse once. It wanted to go to the Circle K. So
Hell hath frozen over.
when you guys gather the horses and begin heading north, this is the day after the volcano has erupted. It's later in the day, probably like 1 or 2. You hit the road, you've got some food in your bellies, you guys begin going. The teams of people who headed out before you have already started working, clearing the road, making effort to get either the ash or burnt trees that have fallen over it, deal with houses that have burned down. It's a slow go, because as you move from down the road to Kalimport, you don't get to Kalimport till the next day, and you begin asking people along the way, have you seen anything? Pausing along the way and mentioning to, like, seeing a group of peasants, you would stop them and say,
I would most likely be having my other people discuss with the peasantry or the villagers or however you that. If there's anyone who has anything of importance, I would want to speak with them directly. So that we'll be finding out what, basic information as far as what happened here, what kind of experiences have been going on after the explosion, other than mass destruction. Any changes in the wildlife nearby. Any changes in even down to the weather. I think that I would be explicitly precise in what information I would want to have collected from the people that I sent my entourage out to meet with, and then anything that seems off, other than the obvious, there was a volcano and lots of things are kind of in havoc right now. Then I would want to find out more from the person who informed us of that.
when you arrived at Calimport the next day, you meet with those people, you begin asking questions, the same routine as you're moving forward. On that evening, as you're heading up the road from Calimport, because your entourage is more than enough to deal with setting up camps and dealing with making sure you have food so you can continue on the course that you have. People coming up and down the road, as well as going down the river, not up the river, down the river, because, like the Pontifex said, there are log jams. But you can see people are pushing their way through, going down. So maybe there's something to that. When you are in the later part of this, the second day of you being here, you're maybe a few hours away from Blemfost, and you notice a large contingency of boats, probably about 3 to 4, and there's a lot of people on them, and they're heading down south. It's a lot of people in one cluster moving. Like, it's the most you've seen on the river, so it's like something that catches your attention. When you reach out to them and say, "Hey, give a moment," actually you don't, but your face character does here. Raven goes to near the edge of the river and be like, "You got to come talk to me. I need to ask you questions." One of the first ones that blurt out, they say, "Be careful, head no farther past Blemfost, for there are dark evil beasts attacking people."
Yes, I believe that Raven is far more personable to get information without having somebody pee their pants.
What kind of evil dark creature?
Last night, a boar the size of a house destroyed a church in Arava and killed 4 people. If it was not for a scouting unit that came to our aid, it would have destroyed more and killed more people. We are part of the people of Arava, and we're heading to Calimport to seek refuge. There's a temple there large enough to house us. The city's been destroyed. There are a few buildings standing, and a beast, a powerful beast that was made of magic, black, evil magic, destroyed the temple and killed people.
Oh my. Was this beast taken care of, or is it still at large?
He was slain. Two of the warriors, scouts, teams clearing the road. A powerful legionnaire and a ranger did battle with it, and their blades were sharp and their wounds were deep, but the beast fought on even as its guts lay upon the floor of the forest, burning through the ash and soot.
Oh my. That sounds like a tale worthy of a song.
What would you like the voice?
I'll have to compose it on the way.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is a village. We should do another villager. How's that?
I would definitely enjoy hearing that song.
Gotta turn it dark though, so it's
Of
serious.
course.
It
Yes.
will. I'll play it on my viol, so I can get really like dark sounding music out of it. It'll be great.
What is he going to say?
Just make everything a bad ending instead of like a happy warrior one. It's like the
And
beast
everyone was
slays
dead.
everyone. Yeah, there you go.
It could also be a song of they won. However, they would be scarred for life. Terrible nightmares would torment them for the rest of their
Dark
days.
beast of magic coming after them night after night, running but never getting far.
They died of diarrhea the next day.
Gangrene overtook their bored leg.
And so as these people are floating by, a small child that's also on the raft with the rest of them hollers out at you all.
They killed me dad.
How sad.
Very sad indeed.
The little kid is smiling.
I'm not holding the button.
In
No, he's not. He said
Shit
the little
happens,
kid is
kid."
smiling. He's the little bastard's dead. He killed the dad. Yes, I'm free. I'm free. Then he falls in the water.
Yeah.
I never have to sleep in again.
I'll flick a silver coin over to him.
I grab it
Into the
almost
boat.
falling off the boat.
Yeah. It probably lands in the water, and that's
What? How far away is it?
I don't know. We're gonna say
I got this.
You got this. All right, go ahead and roll.
Yeah. Flicking a silver coin at people.
Yeah, that might
Natural 20 hits the
be a jerk.
kid in the eye, comes back for vengeance 3 years later.
Well,
There you go.
15. Hopefully that
Awesome.
gets over
It
there.
lands on the boat, and he's able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, no revenge
All right,
arc.
hang on.
Dang.
Thank you, Mom.
No.
All right. And so they're telling you that this happened last night, and so this is yeah. So this is the an earlier part of the day, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I lost track of my stuff. What do you want to do?
Have we been riding all night? I mean, I can sleep on a horse, but it's not good sleep.
I think that we would have been doing normal stuff, right? Up until this point, there's been
Yes.
nothing
Yes.
of note. So now that there is, I think that we should press forward and find these two worthy warriors. Find out more about what this creature was and how
I
they
need to
managed
know.
to slay it.
I need to know more for my song.
You do.
Actually, we're going to say he didn't say earlier. He didn't say yesterday. He'll say it was earlier today, because that would have been more appropriate. Because they got on the boat right after shit hit the fan, and they headed south. So you guys are on the same day. So you could push. You're south of Blemfost. You could push and get to Arava within a few hours.
I playfully look over at my plague doctor and say, "Race you over the hill."
You win.
Do you guys want to swap out for some fresh horses? Leave these horses
We do.
behind in Hallbutt?
Yeah, we do. I'm going to take the most worthy of warriors along with me, and we will press forward as quickly as possible, instructing the others to follow as quickly as they can behind, but don't. Don't
have to
blame
hurry.
them.
Yeah.
Please tell me you're swigging straight from that bottle of Jack. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. You do. And there's no dice rolls or anything, but you definitely begin. You swap over to fresh horses that have been unburdened. Oh, it's just a bottle of sweet tea.
Yeah. I've got my nice mango hibiscus tea.
That's awesome.
Perfect
A
for
warrior's
a half-orc warrior. Yeah, the manly drink.
You got to keep your strength up. Keep the scurvy away.
The road ahead is somewhat clear. Teams must have been working in the area, as you can see, cut trees that have fallen in the road, earthworks that have been started, but at some point they end and they cut off. You guys are now riding in the night. I'm assuming, does either of you have any dark vision?
Yes.
Excellent.
Dark vision, 60 feet.
That will kind of be helpful, but if you go too fast, it's not going to be useful. What about torches? Can you make torches? Use torches?
I have dancing lights because that's always cooler than torches.
It's true. It's true.
So yeah, my dancing lights are orbs of red, angry red light that send out a menacing glow, bathing the forest in red.
And they do. And that's going to be more than enough to get you guys to travel faster into the darkness and still not like run into issues, because that dancing lights is a lot of freaking light. All right,
Yeah, it is.
Evan, you're on watch. It's late. Kalad is asleep next to you. It's very quiet. You can hear the forest outside. You pass in to kind of stir the fire that's in the temple, and as you walk toward the back door, step out onto the little back porch, and as you're standing there looking around, one of the guards who are posted on the other side of the building say, you can hear his voice go, "What's that? I see something." And he shuffles into the room real quickly and says in a voice just kind of loud, "There's someone coming. There's a lot of light coming up the road. Get up, get up, get up." And he starts kicking people through the room. Evan, you're already up and at the back of the church, and this is what you hear. Star, your character's asleep on the ground, and somebody starts kicking him, yelling, "Get up, get up, get up."
What's the meaning of this? I just take off my sword and like hold the sword against him.
You bring him to the ground quickly, pushing your sword up against him. He's like, a light brighter than anything I've ever seen this late at night is heading this way.
And
what
also,
are you
it's
doing
blood
sitting
red.
here? Let's go.
Also, but it's a blood red light, so
It's
it's,
a
Yeah,
blood
not
red
It's
light.
an unnatural illumination in the distance.
My God, the necromancers have come.
All right, Evan, you're already up, so you'll get at least 2 rounds of action. What do you want to do?
Look at the light and try to discern what's making it. I'll draw my rapier as well.
How do you wish to discern what's making it?
Just visually.
Okay, so you're going to move to the front of the church and like stand at ground level and look in that direction?
Exactly. Yep.
Just going to suggest, it's part of my understanding of being a Boy Scout and whatnot. Height gives a better advantage to see things.
That was going to be my second action.
Okay, good.
My character does have a climb speed, so he was going to climb the church and then take another look. But if he can see from the ground, then he's in a better position to relay the information back.
You cannot see from the ground. All you see is a red glow that probably stretches a length of, I'm just going to say about 100 meters, 100 yards, 100 meters along the roadway, like an army, a fast-moving army.
Too fast.
Alright, I use feline agility to climb the church as fast as I can to get a better view. Feline agility is move double speed on turn.
Okay. And with your climb skill, you'll be able to scale the church easily. Getting to higher ground, you can see up the roadway 4 orbs of red light and more than half a dozen horsemen heading in this direction. And they're not going at a slow speed. They're going at a powerful gait.
How heavily armed are they?
In the darkness, you can't really tell because of the lighting and the situation, but you can see that some of them are in armor.
And a terrifying one with a bird
One is
mask.
definitely like cloaked and hooded.
Yeah, cloaked individuals
This
with
looks
armor
so
on.
bad.
I mean, this is just the way that would be perceived.
Yeah. If I'm coming out, I'd be charging in.
And they're coming from Belfast?
Yes.
Okay, so the second half of feline agility is after I use it, I have to spend 1 turn moving at 0 speed. So I can't move from my perch. But I call down and relay the information. There's 12 heavily armed, 12 armored men riding towards us.
I think it's
Prepare
just
yourself.
6.
Yeah, half a
Yeah.
dozen.
Oh, half dozen.
Yeah.
Okay, 6.
Actually, it's 8 because I said more than half a dozen.
There we go. Now we know the
So
real
we're
number.
both we're both wrong. 8 men riding towards us. Get ready.
Night fight.
All right. Claude, you come out of the church. Your barricade sits in front of you. It blocks part of the roadway, but not enough that you can't move down between the two of them and stand with sword ready, or maybe spear and shield or something. What would you like to prep?
I definitely have my sword in hand and my tower shield that's always resting by my bed.
Okay. The rest of the peasants all pull up spears alongside you and prep.
Do we have like archers and stuff?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, no, your unit's here. Never mind. Your unit's here as well. So, yes, the archers will pull back. They'll be behind the barricades with their short bows ready.
Right. Archers ready.
All right. You can, at this point in time, the distance, the light is very visible to everyone as it's snaking up the road. The sound of galloping horses can be heard. To the Undying, as you are leading, as you're a part of your team, not leading, but as you're part of your team, you can see ahead that the town from where you're at looks pretty badly off, but you can see a barricaded building. Another stone building in the town has somebody's built up barricades around it. Raven, you see this as well as you're I'm assuming the lead with one of the other soldiers.
Yeah. Would I be able to try to discern movement up ahead? What kind of
That's
did they?
called a perception roll.
Oh yeah, I can do perception. Real good, yeah.
And Evan and Star, you guys need to do a perception as well. Oh,
20.
and Cassie, please do a perception.
20 on perception.
So, quick mechanics question, just one more time. If I have to, on my on the class, it has charisma.
A 16.
Oops.
Oh, I can tell you anyway. The class and wisdom and charisma, that means it's at advantage all the time?
No, you add your profession bonus.
19.
Well, that's if I do. Oh, I'm so confused because I already have that already for my perception.
Okay, yeah, then it's your stat and your profession bonus, and that's what you roll. And you get advantage from feats and objects and magical spells.
Okay.
That's where advantage comes from.
Okay.
Oh, kitty.
I did not do well.
I just want to make it known that I'll have my hand crossbow out and loaded.
All right.
Yeah, my focus is currently ensuring that we have a clear, visible lights to light the way. I'm relying on the rest of my team to ensure that they are looking out for any dangers.
Yes.
Do I see any symbols with my 19? Like on the entourage coming in?
You do recognize that the gentlemen that are in front, the men and women in armor, are wearing martial scout armor, which is what you're wearing right now. So you recognize that.
Archers, stand down.
You can see that they are carrying the normal retinue for scouts, which is spears and swords and bows. But one of the lead characters is not wearing the normal suit of armor. And you can see that one of the people amongst them looks like they have a gigantic schnoz. Sarah, Raven is in the front riding hard, watching. You see the barricade ahead, and you're like, oh, fuck, there's archers behind that barricade. You see them with bows out. No arrows knocked. Well, the arrows are there, but they're not knocked. They're just watching. No, you said
Okay.
archers ready, didn't you?
Yeah, but I told them to stand down after
Okay.
I saw that they were friendly.
So as you're coming and you're seeing all this, you see very little light up there. You see archers with bows drawn back, and as you're seeing them, you're like, oh fuck, there's these guys are ready for a fight. You see the
Yeah.
archers undoing their bows and arrows.
Okay. As we get closer and closer, I'll kind of like make the signal for everybody to slow down a little bit, just so we're not like,
ready to
running
run
hard.
down everyone.
Exactly. We're not gonna run over anybody. So
I'll walk out front.
Excellent. I will push. Like I'll tell them to slow down, but I'll ride up faster than the rest, and then hop off my horse.
Describe your
And-
character.
I am cloaked from head to toe, or clad head to toe in very dark gear. I do wear the little like symbol underneath the cloak, showing that I am part of the army. But as I jump off the horse, I walk up with a hooded figure, and I pull my hood back and give a little flourishy bow. Dark hair, very green eyes. I have slightly pointed ears, so I look kind of like a half elf. Kind of elven. Sort of elven. Yeah, just...
Okay, and Star, describe your character.
All right. Kalad is a very, very tall half-orc warrior, right now clad in chainmail, scale mail, and a large tower shield and a sword that he's sheathed. And he has a lot of scars on his face, very intimidating demeanor, shaved head for military, and he just walks up really close and looks over you with an intimidating glare and looks you over, and then with a wide grin, "Oh, nice to meet you. What's your name?" Big hand, just right
After
out to meet you.
I come up for my bow, I'll extend a hand. My name is Raven, and I am part of the entourage of the Undying.
What's your business here?
Well, as soon as our leader, the Undying, comes, we've
Just
been...
look at the large-nosed person.
Yeah, I just kind of like, we've been sent from Blackwater on a particular endeavor to look for anything out of the ordinary in this area. I've been-
Like large undead boars?
Yes, actually.
Well, we've encountered one of those for sure.
Are you the one they've been talking about?
Yes. I, myself, and that archers. We
No.
both slayed it.
No question. I am of who you speak. It's irrelevant of who it actually is.
Yes, that is me.
We will have to share a drink, and you must tell me. I am composing a song about this.
All right, we'll tell them that they're welcome in.
Excellent. And I'll wait for the rest of the entourage to get here.
I'll lead all of them in to the city.
All right, in the remnants, it's a church, a small stable, and it's surrounded by barricades. The building's probably safely able to hold about 20 people. The horses the horses they brought in are all very exhausted, and they're not going to fit in here. But your team, Kalad, has tents that could be erected, or you guys could go secure other facilities. It is also wee late in the night, and so they interrupted your beauty sleep. But whatever, night fighting, it makes character.
Aye, lad.
All right, so you guys come in. You guys get a chance. This is a chance to talk and exchange information from what you know, and that way we can move forward from there.
Send the picture.
All right. Well, I'm just leading them in.
As the two get led in, Mala will kind of scurry back down the building and silently follow them in as well, giving the era a couple sniffs to see if anything smells wrong to.
Mala, it's not nice to just sniff people you don't know. Introduce yourself.
He's more so sniffing the air rather than them, but
I thought you came down and started sniffing them. Like,
no. Satisfied that they don't smell like the dead boar or the necromantic boar.
Yeah, we just
He'll smile, kind of baring his teeth a little bit. Hi, I'm Mala. I see you've already met my friend.
Actually, he's more of your commander than friend, but I mean, friend is a good term to say that, hey, you're in a good relationship with him.
Exactly.
I'm not one for all those honorifics.
I will point out, however, that Mala, if his armor did come with the insignia sewn on, would have unstitched it or taken it off.
So, Raven, who's your big-nosed friend over there?
Well, that's Kadra. Kadra? Kadra.
Yes.
Kadra, the Undying.
Fancy. Well, Undying versus Unbreakable, who do you think would win?
Undying.
We'll see about that.
So yeah, I will be approaching with the rest of them. I have already instructed Raven to find the leader of this outfit so we can have a discussion on what has happened here.
Yes.
There's a nice little picture. I see to have as I dismount the a light, misty fog seems to travel with me as I walk, and I take every step is measured. My completely covered head to toe, the crow's mask. As I approach Raven and whoever this jovial person is.
He's very happy.
Big news, friend. Nice to meet you.
I don't raise my hand. I look down and I look up. I am Kadra, the Undying.
So you're the Kadra one. I just slapped the shoulder really hard. Nice to meet you. My name's Kalad. Call me Kara for short. So are you the leader?
Right? I wouldn't touch that. I mean, just
Is there a way I can kind of intercept as he before he goes and slaps her back? I just
No.
Did I accidentally break you?
That's not the problem.
Yeah, I know.
That's not.
Plague.
Shadow
Yes.
word death and I die.
Right? Is this the leader? Raven?
Do we have a mayor of this city?
Yes.
Well, I'm the leader of the troop here that slayed the boar, but if you wanted the mayor, we can introduce you.
No, the mayor probably wouldn't know anything.
No. Well, that's true, but
Well, we are here for you
me specifically?
and your men.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought people wanted to know me. Thought I was famous.
You know the mayor left last night. No, he doesn't remember that.
Oh, the mayor left. Okay. Well, what did you
Is
need?
it just my character that knows that, or does everyone
Yeah,
know
you were
that?
part of the assisting of the crew.
Oh, you're not. You're not.
You were part of the individuals. You were part of the individuals helping people get onto the boat. So you were there when you got on the boat, and I was like, "Peace, it's all yours. Don't burn it down at one night."
Ah.
We understand that you were attacked by the undead.
Something like that. Huge boar came rolling in. I stabbed it, and it was like a real boar. It like sprayed weird like mist, and my ranger friend said it was undead. But oh well, I think so.
How can you tell?
Is that what you want to know? Like,
We
it
want
came
to
from
know
up north.
just one.
Just one, but it came like right for the temple. It's really curious.
Which way did it come from?
Bala, what did you say it came from?
To the northeast, or
Northeast.
rather, from the northeast.
Interesting. I've been sent by the prophetess of Blackwater. And apparently, she was right.
Sounds like you're fancy folk then. Well, we were going to head out there earlier tomorrow. We were going to have my men dress up for battle, see what was out there. We're thinking a necromancer.
So you see my hands kind of like read. They come up. Excellent. We shall wait for the morrow, and then we will find the necromancer and deal with them.
So I will kind of lean over to Kadra and say, perhaps a small scouting party first.
You're looking at him.
That little cat over there is really sneaky. Bring them all on.
Wonderful. You can assist me.
Very well. Your scouts and mine will ensure our safe passage.
All right. Well, we're about to head down for the night. You want a drink? You want food?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, follow me. I head to the bar.
You head to the bar. The tavern owner left, didn't pack any of his shit. And now we're just raiding.
We'll just reach behind the bar. He won't notice.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what they've already done. They've dragged two uncracked kegs over to it. They're just pony kegs, but they popped one, and so the bar is a table. The bar is a table inside the church. So, you guys have a chance. Can you hear me? People are staring.
Yep, we can
Okay,
hear you.
just making sure, because this whole push to talk thing, I'm really new to pushing buttons. You got a chance to engage. These guys have seen some combat. Some of them are veterans from the last war. Some of them have at least done some skirmishes. Kalad, Mala, you both find out that these guys have never been in war, but they've seen skirmishes, maybe a fist fight or a sword fight. I don't know exactly how much information you guys share, but we'll go with that. The morning comes. What time in the morning are the scouts going out?
At
was-
daybreak.
Oh, sleeping in. All right. Daybreak.
Before daybreak. Before it gets light outside. Before the golden sun tips have touched the horizon.
The morning twilight. We'll set
That-
off in the morning twilight.
Well, that way, if anyone's watching the camp, we can sneak out easier.
Very true.
What do you want?
But if you wish daybreak, daybreak it is.
I mean, before daybreak is fine.
We let them do these things. We interject, but we do.
Just go to sleep. I'm trying to sleep over here.
No, you can't. You have to be patient.
Cotton and wax in your ears.
Or cheese.
You already happened too loud.
You will.
I will take some of the small amount of food and flagon and find my way to private quarters. As befits my station.
Okay, the church is cramped, so you're actually going to leave the church to go stay in a build or go.
Can't hear you.
So the church is cramped, which means you're either going to go outside of the church's ground to an unused building, which is fun. There's now over 20 guards here, so and there's at least another dozen plus peasants hanging around. There's like 30 people here, so you're within at least reach of somebody, as long as nothing super crazy dark kind of sneaks up and tries to kill you.
Is the mayor's house still standing?
Oh yeah.
Then I will stay there.
Sounds great. So before the sun comes up, in the first rays of doing tickling of something or another, the two sneaker individuals race to get up first.
Two sneakers.
Two sneakers. Race to get up first and head out to where?
I suppose the way that the boar came from,
Okay.
like head up that way.
Wonderful. Just rereading Natural Explorer, its last point, when traveling for an hour or more while tracking other creatures, I'm guessing this bore in reverse. You also learn their exact number, 1, their sizes, already know that, and how long ago they passed through the area. I also cannot, your group cannot become lost except by magical means. So using this, I'm guessing I can track the boar exactly where it stepped.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So you continue back down the course that you took yesterday evening, following the trail and leading into the forest. The ash forest burnt all around you. Sun comes up, begins touching everything in the forest like it does, in its way. When you get to the remnants of the church, Raven on the path, he's following it, you're following the trail. He's pointing it out. You guys come up to the church. Do you want to pause and examine the church from a distance or walk closer?
I've already taken my look, so I'll step aside to let Raven have her way about this.
I guess take a look at it from a distance first, and then if it looks decently safe, we can start.
Okay,
Heading
roll perception.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
My brain does not want to do math. 17.
I opened the images and then I brought them up as a website page, and then I scrolled up and down for the audience while you guys were doing your descriptions. So the audience has seen the images if they were paying attention to the screen, but I will definitely put them up in case we need a mini. You got a 19, and Evan, you got a 7. So Mala, you're distracted as you're kind of like looking around and whatnot. And Raven, you see a collapsed building. You see that there's some sort of statue there of some type. You're not sure from what it is from this distance, but you think it's one of the older deity that the
Older deity.
Grisio. And so you think that's what it is, but you're going to have to get closer. But you don't see anything
Okay.
dangerous.
Okay. Let's move in a little bit closer, but silently.
Sure, not a problem. All right, now we do some scary stuff.
Stealth is a 25.
Excellent. Both of y'all are quietly
21.
walking up toward the building, getting closer, silently, moving through the softer ash. Mala, the legs are gone.
Weren't they there last night?
Yes. Where the legs were, the rubble has been moved.
It's a humanoid. Could I use either knowledge or survival to ascertain if an animal or something natural did this?
Yes, you can make a survival roll. You notice, Raven, that Mala is now stopped, maybe a little panicked, or at least paying attention, and begins looking around the surroundings. Where you're looking around just kind of like observing the building, he seems to be looking away from the building at this time. Mala,
A
you
17.
do not find any other tracks, but you do not find animal tracks, you find human tracks. I remember describing to you the person had brown legs. They had no shoes on when the building collapsed on them. And you do see a barefoot person walking northwesterly away from the ruins.
Almost as if someone charmed the legs off this guy.
Well, the rubble is open, and so you do not see a body inside of the rubble. So the whole body, including the legs, got up and walked off.
Ah. One more creature to track. I'll take a closer look. Raven, last night there was a human here, but he was dead. Do you see these footprints? He wasn't
Yes.
wearing any shoes.
The footprints he's pointing out are in the ash, so somebody walked through here after the fire. And you can't see any entrance or exit from the remains of the building. What you got?
How long ago
What you got?
were the footprints made using my nature sense?
Sometime last night after you left. Probably within the last hour.
I'm going to say as you
The trail is somewhat fresh still,
looking at the trail,
most likely within the last hour.
there will be a shadowy
Well,
figure
should we follow?
close by.
No, it's not going to flash by. Watch this.
Your friend, she deals with the dead, correct? That's why she saw
does.
this.
Yeah, no, this is a learning
Maybe she
moment.
might know
It's good
more
that you
about
have
this.
suggestions, but this is a learning moment where you just pay attention and listen and stuff like that.
Well, we can always head
Like,
back.
you will input. You do input.
But we may lose
What
the
would
trail.
you like to do? Oh, I never lose a trail.
Well
Don't
then,
worry.
let's head back and get the others.
All right.
Sneaky, sneaky.
All right. Sneaking away from the situation and heading back to where you came from. You still have not finished following the boar's trail because now you're following something new has developed. As you guys are heading back, you haven't gone more than 10 minutes before, on the horizon to your right, through the glistening of the light and the sun that touches things, because you know that's what sun rays do, they touch things, you see a shadowy figure walking through the tree line. The trees aren't very thick. Most of the underbrush has been burnt away. Everything's pretty black. And this person is walking kind of slowly off on the right-hand side. He's walking Not towards you, but away from you slightly.
Poke. Poke, poke, Mala. Point to it.
Another friend of yours?
Not mine.
Yeah,
Is
all
the
right.
person wearing
I
shoes?
look to see if he's wearing any shoes.
No, that's amazing. You can't see shoes on his feet from this distance, and his clothes is disheveled, and he's walking in such a poor gait. He looks like he's an old man, broken.
Does he look like the man I saw last night?
Can I make an input?
Sure, what do you...
I do think it is zombies as well, Jolly.
You have a really good impression that it is. Did my voice get any better? Yeah, that's the microphone. It's an unfixable issue due to Microsoft not wanting to fix the way that dynamic microphones using a USB work. They know about it. We all know about it. They can't fix it. I'm always going to sound like this. But I am talking pretty loudly into the microphone. So,
Well, for the record, you sound fine to me.
oh yeah, it's the way it comes through on Twitch.
Can I
Ah.
another one to chat?
You know, what do you want to say? You can type it too.
I want to say it.
Raven, I think it's the man from last night.
Excellent. Should we take care of it? Perhaps we could wrangle it and bring it back with us. I have rope.
You start a session.
What do you just want to say?
Walking Dead style, just zombies that are cut up.
Say,
Just
you know,
carrying
it's
them with
Mala-
a different game. They do everything that
Mala gives an exasperated
No,
sigh.
we're not going to do that.
You're
I wanna do
what
that.
kind
I
of
don't wanna do
scout
that.
exactly?
I don't want to break the momentum. Right
I'm
now,
a
our
scout of
momentum
many
is the
talents.
show. Get what you're saying. Focus on this show, not other shows. So you guys are breaking off to go
If-
catch up with the... Oh, that's weird.
We don't have to. We can go back. It's fine. You know what?
Make a call.
Let's just go back. We'll go get them. It'll be fine. And I start walking back to the sneaking back.
Okay, sneaking back.
I'll make a note of where it's standing, so I can find my
All
way
right,
back
Jacob,
to
roll
it.
perception
And
for the old guy walking through the woods to see if he notices them. That's a decent roll. What did you guys get? Ah!
21 and 25.
Yeah.
How is that even a thing? I didn't even click on that.
You're cut out?
You got a 21 and a 25? Okay.
Yes.
Correct.
All right, you guys make it back to camp. You don't need to hold it, but you can press it for me, and I just got to make sure to be touching the right freaking thing.
I'll let Raven relay the information.
Okay.
I will go find our brave and wondrous undying leader. I'll walk over and with a flourish I'll bow to her.
Raven, there is no need for such pleasantry.
Ah.
But I do
Well.
appreciate your devotion.
Of course, madam. So we have we were following the trail of the boar and came across the curious sight.
Oh, really?
Yes. Of the undead persuasion.
Excellent.
As a smirk creeps across Raven's face.
Did you already slay it?
No. But we did find its position, and we wanted to come get you. I know how you've been excited to find something like this.
It has been a long time.
It has.
So I will Yeah. Lead the way. Shall it just be the two of us, or are we inviting our wizened warriors to join?
As you see, Claude,
Sleeping this far into the morning. Disgraceful. I'll go over and kick his boot.
you ready? All right, let's go.
I was just about to say that before Mala whispers to Kaladi, he would have poked him with his tail to wake him up.
I say 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
Up and at him, we have something to do.
We ready for a fight? I'll gather the men.
I think a small contingency would do. It's only one undead. It's more of a fact-finding mission.
Well, you can never be more prepared. I'll get my plate mail.
10 minutes later.
Yeah.
1 hour.
So you guys are going to prep plate mail, weapons. How many people are going to take with?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know how that would work, so.
It's one undead. Maybe. Maybe he's going to meet the others. Who knows?
Maybe it's just
Kalad was under the impression that we were going to search the boar back to its lair to see if there's a necromancer there.
We were, but then we found an undead and we can follow it to its source because the dead are called from their masters.
So you saw an undead,
Yes.
and then you saw it walk away.
Yes.
You lost the undead.
We never
It's
lost
not
it.
there anymore.
How dare you say such things? Your friend here, Mala, I'm sure can find anything as quick as that. Probably
All
quicker.
right.
this is the players.
Okay.
Oh, ye of little faith in your friend.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll gather the real strong men, and we'll go. I'll gather up the warriors.
Wow.
Kind of.
The more warm bodies we bring, the more dead bodies we'll be fighting.
You can go off and search for the weird shambling man. And we'll go hunt the necromancer.
I do love his pluck.
You should call me Pluck.
She said she likes your pluck, not you are.
Oh,
pluck.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
What?
I see you, fan.
No, I'm not.
As I jot down some
Oh, my-
lyrics into a small book
What's his pocket?
and then tuck it into my cloak.
Ah,
All right. So Raven and Kadra are going to follow the zombie, and
I suppose.
Kel and Mala are going to go and try to finally tracking down the trail of where the boar came from.
Always split the party.
Did I get
I
that?
don't.
I can be convinced.
I think that it would be best to do both. We can get the single undead on the way to the boar's lair.
Yes. It was on the way.
Yeah. I won't disregard a doctor.
All right. So are you guys taking horses then?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, bless you.
Evan,
I
you
think
need
that
to
was her agreeing.
It was a hiccup, but whatever works.
Evan, you need to make a survival roll to re-find the zombie.
I thought that I couldn't lose the tracks.
No, you're right, because he's just that terrible. He's not actually working to hide his trail. That's true. When you guys head into the woods, You turn and veer toward where he's going. Everybody make a perception check who is not actively doing something.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
21.
All right. Mala, you got a 12.
Yes, it's a combination of nature sense to two parts. One, you can never get lost, so I made a note of where I last saw it,
17.
and then I can never lose the once I'm on it.
I got a 14.
Okay. 14, a 17. Raven, what did you get?
21.
Okay. You guys easily catch up to the shambling man. And by the way, one of his arms swing, he definitely has a broken arm. He walks as if the pain does not mean anything and continues in almost a straight line.
Oi, old man.
He does not respond.
Hey, what are you doing out here?
He's dead.
Oh,
He does not
dead.
respond.
He's walking.
Is he walking in the direction where you, or the lair is, or
No.
away from it?
I will draw on the map. He is heading in that direction.
Sorry, I'm trying to find where you drew it. I don't see anything.
Bless you.
That is the direction that the zombie is moving.
Okay.
To say that he is a
Which way is the boar's lair? Okay.
That is the direction the boar came from.
Oh, we're looking at the map.
Yeah. And the round thing is the volcano?
The black thing in the upper corner is the volcano. The circles represents the radius in which the city center is. The black dot represents the city center.
What about the blue
Got it.
circle on the mountain?
The blue circles all over the place that don't have black dots in them represent smaller communities throughout the area.
So there's one on the mountain. There's ones everywhere else.
So, yeah, the guy walking in front of you guys does not respond to words. Maybe he's deaf. Maybe you just need to get in front of him, wave a hand or something.
He's probably just hard of hearing. Let's go up to him.
You're gonna get
Yes. Let's go introduce ourselves.
Do we just like posse style, like circle him with the horses?
I mean, trained warriors would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just surround him. I'm sure a zombie has never been bullied like this.
Roll to hit.
It's not bullying. We're trying to get answers. Oh my!
I
The
did.
hell was that?
It's the wrath
That was a
of the
transformer. One of the Decepticons fighting an Autobot.
What?
A transformer
Makes
just blew up
sense.
outside our house.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's been happening outside my house for minutes.
a real transfer.
Yeah, like a transformer that attaches the
Awesome.
power
Well, I'm
lines.
glad we still have electricity. For
Yeah,
now.
So it's part of somebody else's
I'm
grid
using-
problem.
Laptop, so that doesn't happen. There's a huge storm outside right now.
Oh shit.
Circle around the front as you are watching, paying attention, and as soon as you guys get in front, I'm assuming the brave warrior is the first one that gets in front. It's an elderly gentleman with a broken arm, and as soon as you're in front of him, it's like he snaps out of a daze and his head shakes for a minute. His eyes widen, his mouth opens, he screams an unhollow sound and charges you. His speed almost triples as he flies off the ground and hits an AC 16. He's 18 because he's doing a charge attack at you. Does that hit? You remember in plate mail.
What did you say the number was?
18.
18? No, it does not hit.
So as he charges you, you whirl your horse around and bring up your tower shield, and he bangs into it incredibly hard that leaves behind tissue as well as fluids on the outside of your shield. He lands on the
Old man,
ground.
what do you think you're doing?
He quickly rolls around and swipes for the leg of your horse. Go ahead. Roll to hit.
Well, if nobody's doing anything, I'm gonna try and knock him down.
Roll to hit.
All right.
10 and a 4.
After this, can we roll initiative? I'll have my rapier in my.
Sure.
What would the plus be if I'm trying to put him like in a grapple?
You're trying to grapple him?
Yeah.
I do believe that's a strength test. I do not have my player's handbook in front of me, so I can't tell you.
All right.
No.
As someone who's never seen undead, he still doesn't believe it.
Well, if give me 1 second.
If he just looks like a haggard old man.
I'm just going to Google it. It's going to be faster. Okay, let's see. Establish position, roll initiative. Okay.
You use an attack action and make a special melee attack, a grapple, if you are able. It can be no more than one size larger than you. It's a athletics check contested by the target's strength or athletics.
All right, so strength modifier.
With yours, yes, it's an attack roll. With your athletics,
Athletics. Okay.
yes. And then with the opposed, it's either an athletics or an acrobatics to versus it.
Oh,
Yeah,
14.
that'll definitely hit. Now let's do your strength athletics versus his strength athletics. All right.
Oh yeah, that was the 14. I'll do to hit though.
Is this PK?
Mm-hmm.
8 to hit.
Yeah, no, that actually misses. So as he hits the ground, and you dismount to reach down and grab him, he immediately reaches and he's going for your horse's leg now. So let's do an initiative.
18.
Oh, unfortunately, 18's fine.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is initiative still dex based?
Yes.
18.
All right, so you're going on 18. He's going on 18. Mala's going on 16. What is Raven going on?
14.
14.
Yeah.
And then 16, but I will let Mala.
All right. He has no dex bonus, but Carl, you do, so you get to go first. Barely.
All right. Well, I'm going to try and grapple again. That'll be a 12 to hit.
That will hit. Now it's the opposed strength test.
All right.
Go ahead,
14.
PK does not want to kill today.
Got an 8. So, yes, sure. You jump down before it can bite into the leg of your horse. You begin holding it down.
You crazy old man, what are you doing? I'm just grabbing him up from the back,
Can I say something?
pulling him away from the horse.
PK is being nice to you.
PK is the name of my dice.
It stands for
Okay,
Painkiller.
yeah,
You know.
my dice is not being nice to
It's
me.
okay. All right. Next on initiative is him. So I'm assuming you've had him held down, but like by the neck or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In his action, he will grab his broken arm, rip his broken arm off, and stab you with his bone. All right. Roll the hit.
All right, well, I've seen a lot of stuff, but this is the worst.
14.
To hit.
Yes.
Ding.
He begins
That's a hit.
jabbing his broken bone at your face helmet, trying to jab into the holes while screaming.
Gross. What?
Another transformer just went.
Guys, I think this guy isn't alive.
He's cold and clammy and
Mala.
gross to the touch.
And stabbing me with his arm.
And do funny things.
Mala, your turn.
Wonderful. I have a hunting trap. I'm wondering if I could use it to try and trap him into an immobile position while relatively not harming him.
Well, I've got him grappled. He's immobile right now.
I'm just thinking so you can let go and stand up.
I said that he was a zombie. I don't know. No, I don't want to say anything.
I think that if you have a hunting trap, it's probably a cage in which small animals can get into, or more bear trap like, which is nothing more than a clamping pair of bars. So that's the one I would assume that might be good. I guess you could maybe entangle it into his good arm and now his broken arm that he's trying to stab people with.
Fair enough. So I'll do two quick things. I'll do a knowledge check.
Yeah, those are fireworks.
And then I'll try to disarm him.
I saw what you
Yeah.
Give me that arm.
disarm.
So the knowledge check, I'm not sure if he still qualifies as humanoid.
No.
I'm sure he does, but no?
He counts
Okay.
as dead.
So I'll do one of those really quick. I know nothing. And disarm. I haven't done this in a long time. So would that also be acrobatics? Just flat out strength?
Are
Or
you going to literally disarm him?
I think that's the plan. That's the plan.
Yes, I'll be taking his broken off arm to remove the bone weapon.
Is there an actual disarm in 5e? Hold on. Holy shit, that's loud. Sorry.
Not sure if that's
It says a creature can use a weapon attack to knock a weapon out of another's hand. The attacker makes an attack roll contested by the target's strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics. So you roll to
Wonderful.
hit, and they make a
So
strength
I'll
test.
do. Sounds good to me.
All right, go ahead and roll for them. Being disarmed.
to see if he does not get disarmed.
Yeah. $16.
Not in that, but a 20.
You reach down and grab a hold of him while trying to apply this trap. You realize the trap is too much in the way. That's why you're confused on what's going on. You grab a hold of him, realizing he's ripped off his own arm to start beating people with it. And so you pull, and he lets go of the arm to try, now using his free hand, to begin pudgeling the your friend in the helmet. And now it is Kadra's turn.
I think that this undead looks like it's unintelligent and wouldn't want to, and wouldn't be helpful to know any further information of it based on how it's acting. So I'm going to Eldritch Blast it for funsies.
Go ahead.
I got a 21,
That hits.
and it's D10. So 8 points of damage.
You blow a sizable chunk out of its chest and head. Its jaw and flesh off its face kind of flops off to one side.
Smears off my helmet. Ugh.
Raven, your turn. Raven, you have become aware that Mala, who has disarmed this man, is now fighting the arm, which seems to be trying to thrash about and grab him.
Gross.
Yeah, it's gross. Get over here.
Oh yeah, sure.
No. You need to pass them through me so that you're not slowing us down. No offense.
I will, I guess, dismount, pulling out a mace,
We can't help them.
and then
We, as game masters, can't help
trying
them.
to
We have
smash
to just
the
respond.
the zombie's head.
The zombie's head or the hand that Mala is holding? Okay, the zombie's head. Go for it. Roll the hit.
Yeah. Fantastic. 17.
You hit.
Excellent. I did not write down how much damage it does. Great at things.
Mm-mm.
D6.
Plus your strength bonus.
You need anything?
What's that?
You need anything?
No. No, I don't.
5 points of damage.
All right. You bash in the last of his skull cavity, smearing brains onto the ground.
Delicious.
This seems to cause the hand that is in Mala's grasp to stop writhing and wriggling, trying to grab a hold of him.
Just get up. Smear it off. Ugh.
Don't
Off
get it
my
in your
helmet.
mouth.
Ugh. All right.
Ooh.
Takes out a little napkin from the satchel.
A wet wipe.
Shines the armor.
A wet wipe.
Yeah, the wet wipe. Part of every warrior's arsenal. Gotta clean the blood off your sword. You know?
I dismount and walk up to the undead creature, nudge the corpse with my boot. Tainted energy raised this. It was not a person. And can I do an insight check to find out more about, like, perhaps, like, are we going in the right direction if we're heading towards the boar's lair, or could this undead have been traveling to its new master?
That would be an insight roll.
Okay.
Would I be able to aid this insight roll?
Perhaps?
I don't see
know.
why not.
Yeah.
Wonderful, and so I just have to roll a 10 or higher, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeff, bring the beer to me.
Haha, sorry.
That's okay. I got a 19, 21.
The boar came from one direction, and based upon what you've been told by everyone else, because I'm assuming you guys at least communicate, the undead came from the direction where the boar originated from. So at that spot, some powerful necromantic energy must have happened to create the boar, and in the effect create the man. The man most likely was heading in the direction of either the necromancer or some other target that the necromantic energies are focusing in on.
So the roll is not going to help us determine which way to go.
The roll tells you that the necromantic energies that are driving these creatures are heading them in directions. So this was okay, I'll say it a different way. The zombie was heading to the next point of contact or the next course of action that was to be done by the necromantic energies. It's being driven to go someplace, just like the boar was.
So the question is, do we want to go to the next volatile area, or do we want to find the sword?
Well, I'm down for smashing some necromancers. I don't know it's about you.
So a spell was cast.
Mala looks towards the doctor. If we kill the necromancer, will the spell end?
The magical energies around us are tainted. However, killing the necromancer should prevent further spreading of it.
So I vote we go to the necromancer then. We might lose one more location, but we can save multiple others.
All right, I'm down with that.
Okay, so you continue on the trail and follow it to the church. Past the church, following the trail which the boar led from, or where it originated to. Upon circling and following the trail, the boar originated near the church, made a large loop, and then charged the church. As you begin, Kadra, as you begin walking around and looking, you don't see any like symbols or indications of like necromantic magic cast or anything that like would say in this area a spell was cast. But the area at which the church is at and where the boar's prints originate at are within a 60-foot area. So the spell was cast there. And so the man must have already been dead when the spell went off. And maybe it summoned the boar and then also turned the man into an undead. And it just took him longer to get up and moving around while the boar was already active, and then it smashed the church, pinning the zombie here. So what you learn is that a spell was cast here, and it created this monster. And if the prophetess is right, then there's probably more monsters. Or at least maybe the necromancer is going to be doing more work somewhere. But the more fireworks. Is it the 4th already?
Oh my god, I totally forgot it was the 4th of July, like, happening.
That's like a days away, though.
I know.
Canada,
but people around
Canada
here,
Day's
like,
tomorrow. Maybe
Yay,
they're
Canada.
happy about Canada.
I doubt it. Bunch of rednecks.
Rude.
So somebody cast a spell here.
Yes, somebody cast a spell, and the side effect of the spell, most likely with the zombie.
Okay, so let's see.
So I'm gonna take some time and cast Detect Magic as a ritual. It's gonna take me 10 minutes. So while everybody's kind of like walking around this area, I'll kind of like seclude myself and start doing this. So I can try to learn a little bit more about this area that we're in, like magically.
Another thing that's important to know about necromancy is that when you raise necromantic creatures, a spellcaster can only control so many. So a zombie that is not under control just kind of like wanders around looking for something to bite. That zombie was heading in a direction, so it was going wherever its master told it to go. All right. You spend some time focusing and cast detect magic. Yes, there are necromantic energies still residing in this area, and they're actually pretty decent. So whatever spell was cast here was, 1, ritualistic, and 2, powerful.
Okay. Is there anything in the area left over, I guess, from the church too? Did it was this consecrated? Would I be able to see consecrated ground if it had I can see faint magical auras.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's consecrated ground. It was consecrated ground, but it's not consecrated anymore.
Okay.
Deconsecrated.
Okay, so 30 feet of you, magic. You can see auras. I learn about the school. And that's pretty much it. I'll let Kadra know that the ground here has been tainted by necromantic energy, and there is still residual spell residue from the necromantic spell that was cast.
And that this was holy ground beforehand.
Yeah, and it was holy ground before, but
Is
not
it
anymore.
possible to determine the spell that was cast?
It tells me the school of magic. Anything beyond that, I think, is game master.
Yeah, it's going to tell you the school of necromantic.
Well, I mean, normally you detect magic and then you spellcraft after.
I don't know if that's a thing now. We can check.
I mean,
that.
I can make an Arcana roll.
Is that the skill Arcana?
Yeah, probably.
15. I'm sorry, 16.
Let's see. Measures your ability to recall lore about spells, magic items. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. So it still does. That's the spellcraft. What'd you get? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the skill. What did you get?
16.
It's going to take more time for research to know the spell specifically. So as of right now, a 16 does not pass.
Okay.
If we stay here longer, can you figure it out?
Yes, the next day. You can do this again.
Oh, the next day. I don't think we have to do that. So, going with my gut, we should probably head towards where that undead was going.
Well, if we do got any leads, then that's the best we got. Let's head over there.
All right. Any objections?
None.
All right. Gathering up your horses and heading that direction, following back the trail that the human had left. And in his wake, you'd come once again across the body of the corpse. Good news, it hasn't moved since you decapitated it.
Decapitated it?
Oh no, they decapitated it.
Squish, squish.
Swish, swish. Continuing the trail in which the creature was walking, it's easy to perceive after at least a hill and going through the ashy trees that beyond you see an old settlement of sorts that's not marked on this map. A few old buildings tore down over the ages. The wood one's completely gone. The wood parts of buildings gone, but there stands in the center of the area a temple. Now, the wood's gone from age and not the fire. This section of the forest seems less touched than the rest. And from where you're at, this building looks in decent condition. If these creatures of necromantic origin are targeting temples, this is in line with where this creature was headed. It has taken you well over 10 minutes to get here, so your detect magic has gone kapoofed.
Yeah.
It stopped
Which I can do it again. Like, because casting as a ritual doesn't take up a spell slot. Or doesn't use a spell slot. So if we, like, hang out for a few more minutes, like, hang back a little bit, I can do it again, and then kind
Probably
of look
get
around this
closer,
area.
at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can even go up to the church if nobody's in there, or see if somebody's
this
in there.
town is not on the map. It's been long abandoned. It's probably about 7 buildings, including this church, that you can see. Gosh only knows how many you're going to come across as you stumble through this undergrowth that didn't burn.
So we came from Arava, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The boar attack? Okay. So that was closer to whatever. Arava was closer to where the necromancer was, because it got it targeted first.
Maybe. That's a good possibility. Everybody making a perception roll as you guys are moving in. Sarah, you don't get to roll because you are currently casting your ritual.
Fantastic.
21.
21.
To being on the gamer side.
Yeah, I know.
At
it's
least
different,
somebody
isn't it?
has my back.
I'm shining my shield on the whole.
Let's see.
So-
Where are they right now?
Yeah, I just wanted on record that as we move through the difficult terrain, we don't take a movement penalty for it.
But we're on the map.
I'm not sure if we're factoring that in or not.
No, I'm keeping a notion that there's a ranger, so there's some sort of benefit. If there was a druid, I would assume the same too.
Wonderful.
Is Mala going to make a perception roll?
I did. I rolled a 1 plus 4, got me a 5. It's right above Star's roll of 1
Oh.
plus 3.
This has got
Oh, that's yours.
I mean,
Oh.
no, I can
Yeah.
make my perception.
what?
Wow. So 2 1s, a person casting detect magic ritualistically. Both of them are distracted. You guys think you see a statue that has inlays of gold still in it near the temple itself. So you're like, is that gold? Do I see something glinting? Like, you're completely distracted by this at this point in time. Like, wow, look at that. Pull your helmet up and staring. We should get closer. Yeah. Doctor.
I will get closer.
Okay, they're moving in. They seem to be spying something. Doctor, as she is on the back of her horse casting spells, you hear rustling of leaves and something in the underbrush. It's not, and what gets your attention isn't like, oh, there's a squirrel moving by, other than the fact that, oh, hey, you're in the area, there's going to be a squirrel, but there's more than one squirrel. And then you hear another squirrel, and 2 and 3 and 4 squirrels. And then you kind of start looking around, and you see ash or leaves or both, and it is like there's something underneath the level of the leaves that is burrowing, not in a straight pattern, but burrowing in the direction of the church. You look behind you to the left, you see about 2 or 3 of them. You look to the right, you see about 5 or 6 of them. You look toward the rest of your compatriots who are busy, and beyond them, a little to your left, you can see more of them coming toward, and you realize it looks like a circle of things burrowing under the underbrush and the leaves and the ash, heading straight toward the church. Lots of them.
Can I do the descriptions for the boss battle?
So they're all going to center in, and then they're going to
I will
burst out of the church as one.
call out to my
Sound good?
companions to stop and
And
don't
then
move.
once it gets super low, it's good.
I'll call out to my companions to stop.
His body.
To don't move.
Legs.
There's movement underground. We don't want to attract attention.
And do like a surprise.
A lot of movement.
What?
Yeah.
What? I don't see anything.
It's underground.
Under?
Look, and she points to like three like giant like what would be essentially like mole mole hats, except they're much larger and
My
they are moving
God.
pretty rapidly towards the and I follow a line towards the church, and then you can see the rest of the giant mole things going.
Those are the biggest groundhogs I've ever seen.
They most likely are also dead.
Dead
Okay.
groundhogs?
You're still in the middle of your ritualistic casting, so it's not ended.
Right, my grandmother's here.
I did. Thank you for saving me.
Oh,
Should we... Where are they going? Should we attack them?
You have to let them do their thing. The players
so
have-
how many are close to where we are versus like like if we start attacking, are they all surrounding us right now, or that I assume that they're heading towards the church, so not all of them are going to be paying attention to what is going on if we start hitting a few with like playing whack-a-mole.
I would say there's probably, if you're thinking about the idea of a clock, there's one at every half hour, so there's like 24 of them pretty much zooming in toward the church.
And how many are close to us?
I would put just you by yourself. You're within reach of 4 to 5. Sarah might be able to hit 1 or 2, and if you give a moment, Evan and Star will be able to hit like 4 to 5.
We should call so I will in response to should we start fighting them now, we should start calling the herd before they get to their pen.
Does that mean attack? Or...
And in response, I'm going to Eldritch blast one of the holes. So
Oh, attack! Got it. Alright.
Initiative.
Similarly, in response, I'll have my rapier and scimitar.
Excellent. Weapons already drawn. Initiative.
do I get to do my Eldritch blast?
Yes.
Before
that's a
initiative?
surprise round. I want to get the initiative so that
Awesome.
So roll twice for you.
Okay.
How how
10 for
far into this ritual am I?
About 5 minutes, 6 minutes, so about halfway.
So
well,
I
I'll
just
restart later.
realized I just realized that Natural Explorer gives me advantage on initiative rolls, so I'll be factoring that.
Yeah, so I got a 17 for my initiative, and
I don't think that worked.
a 21 to hit.
21 will definitely hit. Roll your d10.
Oh, Daddy.
I got a mouse that's like super sensitive.
8 damage.
Whatever is under there blows the pieces and comes out as black smoke.
I smell the sweet, sweet smell of necromancy. And I'm really excited right now.
Jesus.
I'll take a quick look at Kalad.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I just said I would take a quick look at Kalad.
Alright. What are you staring at me? Get these things! And I start stabbing down.
If you're using your sword, you're not going to reach the ground, so you probably want to use a spear. Unless you're going to
Okay,
dismount.
one of my javelins.
Unless you dismount from your horse.
I've got javelins. Am I the next on the initiative?
No, I do believe that the monster is. It's got a 17.
Okay.
I also got a 17.
Did he kill one of them?
Fucking mouse is like super sensitive.
Did
Oh, look at that.
kill one of them?
I figured out why we're becoming super sensitive. No, he hasn't even rolled yet. So,
You're not.
please stop. Everybody, thank you. Just 1 second. So, you get to do another Eldritch Blast because you got a 17. What do you have, a Dex bonus?
1.
It has a 2, so it gets to go before you on the 17. So on its 17, a few of them will rush out or burst from their location and try to startle your horses. We're going to start with, of course, the Warlock's horse in the back. Go ahead and roll for a to hit.
2.
A 1. No. All right. Next, we're going to do the Bard's horse. Another 1. So, with your horses stamping around, the creatures swerve and get out of the way as best as they can as the Eldritch Blasts are flying. When they do, some of them burst from the ground and they look like overstuffed rats with black, oily looking fur.
They all groundhogs.
All right, Warlock, it's your turn.
Pause a quick second. I want to see how close these have to be for this one spell.
Tracking hit points.
I apologize. I just thought.
It's already lost 8.
How many does it have total?
Spelling. Come on.
Huh?
How many of them are within a 10-foot radius?
4 of them are within a 10-foot radius of you.
Then I. Oh. Does necrotic damage do anything to undead?
I do not know of any specific rules that say necrotic damage do not affect undead. They got rid of that kind of complicated rulization in the 5th edition.
I think they're resistant, so it's half damage, I think.
Yeah, it's probably like half damage.
Excuse me.
Well, can we confirm? Because that determines what I do with this spell.
Yep.
In the meantime, like, I can hold off on do an Eldritch Blast, and we'll find out. I got 16 to hit.
Press the T. That will hit. Do damage.
I got 13.
Excellent. You blow another one to pieces.
Max out. Maxed out that one. That was nice. All right. I'll see what I can find here. You keep going. I'll look for it.
All right. Star, your turn.
All right. Well, on top of my horse, I'll use my javelin to start poking him in the ground.
Roll to hit.
All right.
Not you, him. Silly.
All right. That'll be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
9 damage. Wow. That's actually really good for a
It
javelin.
crunches underneath the tip of your javelin, and then after a moment, because it feels like it pops, crunch, and then there's a poof. And the sensation is similar to the boar from last night.
Dead groundhogs.
What? Why do the numbers keep on going up?
Because I'm tracking the total amount of hit point damage. That's all that matters. Trust me. This works the best. I do believe the next initiative is to Raven with a 14, right?
No, I got a 17.
You got a 17? How did I miss that? Oh, it's not in the roll 20 thing. Right, got it.
Yeah, sorry. So I will. How many are near me right now?
At least 3. At least 3.
At least 3. Okay. Can I reach them with a rapier?
No,
from-
you'll have to
okay.
dismount.
Haha! Okay. So, with a flourish, I will dismount, sweeping my cape, very flashy like, and fancy like, pull out my rapier and my dagger, and attack with both of them because I have 2 weapon fighting. It's awesome. 17. I have to 2 weapon fighting. I know it's just 1 attack for both weapons, I think. Because I'm basically doing them at the same time. Is that how that works?
No, that's not how 5th edition works for 2-weapon fighting. You roll for both weapons.
Okay.
The second weapon does not gain your ability modifier on damage without special fighting style.
Yes, that's with the Bard College swords with the 2 weapon fighting. I can add my modifier.
Absolutely.
The second attack is 21.
How big her groundhog is.
And it's a him. Both of those hit. What's the damage?
14 total.
Well, if you're stabbing 2, 14 will... that. So what was the first... I mean, you're stabbing one
the first
twice?
one was...
Or are you
Can I-
attacking 2 different targets?
Can I split targets
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, there's no reason you can't. I mean,
Okay,
unless you're
the
not a
first one
functional
would-
adult.
I'm a functional adult! Then the first one would be 10 and the second one 4.
Oh my god, this mouse. Okay, so the first one is 10, the second one is 4.
Correct.
Great news. 10 will destroy one, 4 will not.
Nice.
Oh no. The description of one getting destroyed is cinematic. That's it.
Even though they're all just forming once they are destroyed.
Pretty much. But we still track the hit points. Can you hold up?
Excuse me.
We'll discuss it afterwards. You're doing a great job, man. Thank you. You great questions. He's asking a lot of questions here that are like really fundamental. He's like, "What's this? What's that?" And it's like, "Okay, dude, these are the mechanics part. We'll talk about them afterwards." Because he's asking like, "Why are you doing that? What does that mean?" All right. You stab 2. One of them destroys. The other one doesn't. Both of them feel like you're stabbing into like a leather balloon, and then they rupture and explode. And yes, I'm aware of the time. We're gonna kind of round up here at the end of this combat. I do believe it is now Mala's turn.
Wonderful. I'll move towards the closest one, and with my bonus action, I will focus Slayer's Prey on it. So starting at 3rd level, as a bonus action, you designate one creature you can see within 60 feet of you as the target of this feature. First time you attack each turn, you hit with an extra 1d6.
Awesome.
So that's my bonus action, and I will attack it with just the rapier this turn.
Go for it. Give me the pencil.
Here's the pencil.
Has it acted already?
Yes, it's already done its action this turn. It's tried to scare 2 of the horses.
So 9?
9 is actually a hit. They have terrible AC for, the whole ground running thing. So yes, it's very close not to hit. You need to increase your dice rolling or something.
Or just switch games.
That's true. We can totally go play Alternity.
What?
Shh. Good questions.
And I'm going to add a 1d6.
And this is all to one target.
Yep. So, 16.
Destroyed. All right. New round.
As a quick,
Oh.
immediate action, I just want to slap Hunter's Sense on another monster.
Sure.
So at 3rd level, you gain the ability to peer at a creature and magically discern how best to hurt it. As an action, choose one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are.
Is there any dice rolls associated with this spell?
Nope. But I can only use the feature a number of times equal to Wisdom modifier.
And so I'm assuming this is magical in nature.
I don't believe it said it's a class ability. I'll take a look, though.
We can assume that it's magical. We'll call it, the new skill's name will be I Googled it on Wikipedia.
Perfect name.
All right. So it is undead, and it's actually in the whole... when you do your special magical ability to discern it, you realize that this doesn't target just one of these creatures burrowing. It targets all of them, which tells you this each individual one is not part of itself. It is part of a whole. And at the next round, top of the initiative, the creature begins bursting from the ground all in one location. Swarms of rats climbing on top of each other and forming together just at the last moment to become one solid, large black rat. It is between Kalad Mala at the church. So the church is behind it. It is facing you guys. So it is spread past and is reforming outside of the ground. Broad daylight, big, giant, 6-foot tall black rat.
Can I describe how it forms?
I hate rats.
Oh, we just did.
It's a rat king.
I can add some description.
Gross.
We have to end the
Smedos.
game at 10 o'clock. I appreciate it. Sit down. Your eagerness.
So,
exciting.
is it? Was that their turn?
No, that's its move action. On its turn, it's going to attack, but I'm going to resolve this real quick, and then we're going to kind of stop the show because some people have to go, and I apologize. So, on its action, as it formulates and grows large, this large, black, diseased-looking rat facing you guys, having you all in a nice cone pattern, it does its breath weapon attack, and all of you must make a fortitude save or reflex if you're dexterity save. That's what they're called nowadays.
Against
Yeah.
Yes, hang on, he'll tell you what it's against.
against vomiting and throwing up so hard that you
No, it's not against throwing up. The creature is spewing out bile and gross at you.
All right, let's save Dex and what?
You roll dexterity. If you get hit, then you have to make a constitution check.
I got a 20.
I got a
Natural 20?
No, not a natural 20.
Okay.
Just
18.
20 total.
So we have a 20, an 18, a 15, was that correct?
Yes.
And a 7.
And a 7.
Um,
This is a roll under system, right?
so
No.
now you need to make a constitution check because the DC was a
3.
14. All right.
Yeah, no.
Mala, I will let you know that you have rolled-
As an immediate reaction, I want to cast a spell.
what would that be?
Absorb elements. This spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effect, and storing it for your next melee attack. You have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your next turn. Also, the first
Awesome.
time you hit with a melee attack on your next turn, the target takes an extra 1d6
What do you
of the
want to say?
triggering type, and the spell ends.
What do you want to say?
So your hands would be covered in balls of bile that you would punch the creature and they would explode on it.
Exactly.
That is disgusting and also the freaking most coolest thing I've ever heard.
Right.
All right, so let's go ahead and do some damage. Can you roll that 3 times?
Oh, of course.
Roll that 3 times. First number is
2.
2. Second number is 4. Last number is 6. So 12 points of damage.
2, 4, 6.
With resistance, lowers it down to 6.
That's correct. All right, we are going to end our show here at this point in time. The large diseased rat creature has spewed forth its bile breath weapon, and everybody dodged out of the way except for the cat person, who defends himself with magical energies.
So,
All right, you need to stop.
Defend against
I
bile.
have to do my closing stuff now. So please wait.
But this way I can use it against him.
Exactly. Wow. So you guys.
So
that was... Go ahead.
Really quick before we forget, did the monster have any resistances, immunities, etc.?
No.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. Nope. It's just hit points, AC, and bile breath weapon.
Right.
Cool beans.
Ready. Strike it down next episode.
Definitely. I'm going to work on my 5th edition rules so that we don't get choked up again. Thank you, by the way, for looking up the stuff on necrotic damage as well, as far as it goes for undead. Greatly appreciated. I think this was really fun. The majority of tonight was like 2 hours of roleplay, which I was trying to do an hour and a half of roleplay, but you guys just didn't stop. You were great at it. I love it. Let's keep doing this. Next time we plan for this, we'll do like a 4-hour instead of a 3-hour. I don't know.
Yeah,
This was
it
fun.
was fun.
Can I say
Yay!
something?
I had a great time.
No, you need to wait.
Yeah.
We have to do what's called closing of the show. I love his eagerness. He's like, I want to give me the microphone. No. All right, so we're Original Box Set. I'm Max. This is Cassie.
Hey, I'm Cassie.
Sarah.
That's me.
Star.
Hello.
And Evan.
Sure, save the Canadian for last.
And Jacob.
Hello.
And we
My
were
apologies,
doing...
Jacob.
And we were doing a one-shot on our 5th edition D&D game and just having some fun tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We're glad to have you. We're going to do some quick announcements and stuff like that. The month of July, we are not going to be doing a lot of shows because, of course, he's here, and we're going to be spending as much time as we can with him. And if you guys do want to see our schedule, we have a website. Please go check it out. So let me kind of find a link for that.
Oh,
She's
please.
got it. We also have a Discord where we hang out and talk about stuff. So if you guys want to hang out and chit chat with us, please do so. Come to our Discord and hang out with us, join us, and find out what we're talking about. Right about now, it's going to be kind of quiet, but we share a lot of our art there. Go check out our website and find our gallery, and we have a section called Art We Own. We just recently added a little bit more. It's pretty spooky looking stuff.
Oh god, it makes me uncomfortable, and I love horror movies.
Definitely.
Fire.
There are links to the artist web pages, so if you're interested in purchasing some of their art, you'll be able to find that as well. Yeah, that's what. Did I miss anything? Does anybody else have anything they want to toss in?
Monday, we Cassie and I play a game, Ark Survival, and where we try not to die, try to make beautiful dinosaur babies. There are children. But yeah,
fun.
that's besties versus beasties.
Yep, and it'll be most likely running from my computer because Max is going to be doing some father-son exciting adventures, but not next Friday. Because if you guys are in the Miami area or you're going to the Florida Con, I will be there from the 3rd of July through Sunday, and then after that, I'm going on an adventure. So, yeah, I'll be out for like 2 weeks. I'll be back for Shattered Isles over on the Shattercasters Network, and that's what I'll be doing next.
Yeah, Wednesday will also not be streaming with John, the World of Warships, because we will be in Tampa. Because a friend is coming down from Alaska, and they're getting married, technically, and he is officiating, which is super cute.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. I will be melting and drinking too much.
Excellent. All right. If we're good there, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're Original Box Set, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
And
Bye.
You wanted to hang on. No.
and good night.